Oops. Good morning. It's just after 8:30. It is Sunday morning. I am Ron. So that means this must be Sunday Morning Live with Ron. Ta-da! If you've never been here before, for the next hour, I will attempt to entertain you with the latest pictures that I've added to my gallery. In case you're wondering and want more information, my gallery is right there, ronalcottphotography.com. Okay. So I'll share with you some pictures. I will talk about how they came to be, why I picked those pictures. Well, I picked them because I made them, but why I made those pictures. And hang on while I get back to, I have to monitor Instagram here too. Okay. Here we go. There's me live. Nope, that's old. Where's me live? Why don't I see me live? Well, that's no fun. That says it should be live. That says it should be live. Well, either way. Hopefully you can see me on Instagram. And yeah, that's that. But when I go here, I don't see me live yet. There I am. Yeah, that's okay. That. Oop. I apologize. I apologize for the clumsy showmanship here. But I wanted to get onto that so I could see what was going on with Instagram. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Do say hi in the comments, just so we can track you all over the internet. No, just so I know who I'm talking to, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself, which I'm quite used to, but you never know. So 3 things we're doing today. 1, we're going to show you the pictures. I already told you about that. Okay. 2, we're going to give you a lesson to help improve your personal photography, how to take better pictures. We're in a module on how to take tack sharp pictures. All right. And today we're going to be talking about motion blur. Okay, remember last time 2 weeks ago we talked about focus and getting everything in focus. But even if you have everything in focus, if the camera moves while the shutter is open, you'll get what's called motion blur. So we'll talk about ways to avoid that. And hi, Miss Jennifer. Thank you for joining. Glad you could be here this morning. Miss Jennifer is over here on Instagram. If you're on Facebook and stuff, Instagram's over here on my phone. But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're welcome as well. If you're watching a replay, you're welcome as well. Everyone is welcome here, okay? Because that's just the kind of guy I am. So we're going to do the pictures. We're going to do the lesson. And then, as you saw, I may not be outside. I'm still here in my office, my messy office, okay? But my camera is outside. So when we get to the point of demonstrating things on my camera, we are going to, well, me, literally, you figuratively will move outside into the cold so that we can demonstrate today's techniques using my camera, my Sony a6000 outside. So that should be fun. That'll be a fun experiment using my wireless microphone that I bought as a birthday present last month. So let's jump right into it if it's not too late for that. Here are the pictures that we have added recently. All right. This first one is called simply Whee! I thought the waves looked like they were having too much fun, just crashing into this rock over and over and over and over again. So this is from Pacifica. As usual, when I'm in Pacifica, it's from Rockaway Beach. This is the last remnants of Maury Point right here. These are just a couple of detached rocks now off of Maury Point. In Pacifica, California, it was a beautiful day in January. I had gone down there to deliver some art and stayed all day and took pictures all day. So the surf was up and messy. You remember last time we had a shot that was more down in here called Choppy Surf. This is from that same day. So, but it was a beautiful sunshiny day and the waves were crashing on the rocks. And I managed to capture this one, having too much fun there on that rock. So our next picture is called Morning Fisherman. Now this one was a sunrise in Santa Cruz that I went down specifically to shoot in Santa Cruz at sunrise. It was during the wildfires this summer, or the peak of the wildfires this summer. That horizon doesn't look very straight. I may have to re-straighten that picture. Anyway, so I went down, got up early, drove down for sunrise. I was originally planning to stay overnight, but they had another spike in COVID. So I decided not to go overnight, drove down early. I got there for sunrise. And as the sun was starting to come up, which is denoted by the sort of warm cast to the water here, I looked out from Lighthouse Point where I was standing, and I had been watching this rock and using my long distance zoom lens. And we've got pelicans We've got some gulls. I believe these guys over here are terns. So we have like lots of different kinds of birds sitting here on this rock. And as I was looking at them and taking pictures of them, this human fisherman decided to cross right behind my path. So I was able to get this shot to contrast these guys, who are the natural fishermen, with the human fishermen, and I think the human fishermen are probably late. My impression here of all these birds on this rock was that it was like a diner. You know, they'd been out, they had done their fishing, and they were all just sitting here in the diner, each in their own little section, okay, talking about their fishing, okay, but they were all still talking about fishing. Okay, so this is Morning Fisherman from Santa Cruz, California. I love how the kelp out here makes the water very broken up, and then it got very smooth. This one clearly is from Yosemite National Park. This was taken at the Tunnel View view area. I guess I don't know what to call them. They're pullouts, they're parking lots all along the roads there in Yosemite, just so people don't stop in the middle of the street. And this one is called Tunnel View. Right directly behind me when I took this shot, there is a tunnel, and hence it's called Tunnel View. And when you come out of the tunnel, you're facing a different way. You're not actually facing down Yosemite Valley anymore. So this was taken from Tunnel View along about midday. As so often happens with Yosemite pictures, when I played with it in post-processing, you always have to look with Yosemite pictures and try it in black and white. And sure enough, this one really just popped in black and white. Now, of course, we have El Capitan here. We have Half Dome. Okay, this one's called something. I think it's Sentinel or something. But I still don't know what all the features are. I've been going there for 15 years. I get too busy looking at things. But the name of this one that's why it's called Tunnel View. This one is a hood ornament, obviously. Taken at the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. I went up there this past summer and got special permission from the museum to take pictures inside the museum and bring them to you. This one is a hood ornament from a 1938 Cadillac. If you look, you can see the Cadillac crest there. Okay, and so that's the name of this one. It's called Hood Ornament 1938. Cadillac Hood Ornament 1938. That's what it's called. Okay. I loved the hood ornaments. I've always loved hood ornaments. I've always wanted a Jaguar with the leaping Jaguar on the front, which they don't make anymore. They still make, by the way, I saw this somewhere a while back. They still make Rolls Royces with hood ornaments, but because the hood ornaments have become such a collector's item, when you turn off the car, the hood ornament retracts and actually is in a locked chamber inside the car when you're not running it. I thought that was very cool. But in 1938, people didn't do that. Okay. This one was particularly nice, and it may be hard to see on the small screen, but there's actually glass plates that make up the bulk of her wings back there. Okay. So Cadillac Hood Ornament, 1938. The next one is called Rock in Fiery Sky. Going back again to Rockaway Beach in Pacifica, California. This has the glorious name of being called Bird Poop Rock, because when you see it in light, it's actually covered quite thoroughly with bird poop from all these birds up here. But again, that same day that the waves were crashing big, I'm going to have to go out there again soon. I've got some time this week. We got a gull flying over here. This was sunset. Okay, the sky was just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. It was quite a ways into sunset. So this is Rock Against Fiery Sky from Pacifica, California, Rockaway Beach. The next one is going to take us up to Bandon, Oregon, where I went this summer. This is called Coquille River Lighthouse. I've had a couple shots that are from this same spot. I had one that actually focused on those same leads. Hi, Investor Kelvin. Hi, Raphael. Welcome. This one looks across the Coquille River from Bandon at the Coquille River Lighthouse. I was never out there at night, so I don't know if it's a functioning lighthouse or not. But it was very picturesque. Very picturesque, very ocean coastline. Coquille Lighthouse. Yeah, Coquille River Lighthouse is the full name of this one. All right. The next one takes us all the way to my backyard. And we'll be seeing more of this guy today, okay, because he's going to be one of our subjects. He still sits right there. This is called Random Rock. It is a rock that I found in my backyard in a fire ring that they have. Somebody before me dug in my backyard. It's just a random rock. It was pretty. I was experimenting with my new camera. It was a dewy morning, so it looks a little bit wet. Obviously winter or springtime because the grass is green, which it's not yet. And it was just an interesting rock, and I was able to get this nice effect that I was after of having the rock in focus with a nice bokeh in the background, that soft feeling in the background. All right. So just a random rock. So the name of it is Random Rock, and that's from my backyard here in Concord, California. And then our last one for today is called 180. Now, when I went out and I took pictures at the National Automobile Museum, I was so busy taking pictures that I did not take notes. So I can't tell you what this is a 180 of. Hi, Julie. Welcome. But this is definitely a 180. Next time I go back, I will figure it out, and I will put additional description on my webpage to let you know what it is. But right now, it's just beautiful chrome work on an old-fashioned car. An old-fashioned 180. Weehaw. So, welcome to all the people who are coming in, joining us. Not everyone's staying, but not everyone's leaving. Life is like that, you know. People come, people go. They come back, they leave, they disappear. New people come in. It's just a whole microcosm of life right here on a Sunday morning. Okay. Fortunately for you, your life contains me, Ron, from Ron Alcott Photography. Okay. So these are all the pictures that are recently added to my New Images Gallery. So go to New Images Gallery at ronalcottphotography.com. Take a look. You can find them there. You can buy prints there. And I am having a sale flash sale this weekend where you can get metal prints for 25% off by using the code METAL25. Okay, but that's just through the end of today. Okay, and they have to be the metal prints, and it can even be a metal print of your own pictures. Okay, because there's a function for upload and print. Okay, so look for that. It's in the top right-hand corner, right there at Ron Alcott Photography. Then when you check out, use code METAL25, and you'll get 25% off of metal prints. What's a metal print? Well, this is a metal print. It's called a metal print because it's printed on metal, just like that, okay? And it comes with this nifty hanging system. This isn't something I did special. It even comes with these MOLLE screws, so you can put it on. Nice bumpers, so even the softwood frame will not scratch up your wall, okay? What it creates, as you can see from the reflection of my computer screen, it's a very sharp, very shiny photographic effect. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to display photographs. And again, if you go to the site today, just today, they're on sale for 25% off unless you order 3. If you order 3 metal prints in the same order, you'll get 35% off, which is better than buy 2, get 1 free. Right? Because that would be 33 and a third % off. Okay. So 35%, if you're buying 2, you may as well get the third one because essentially the third one is free. All right. So think of it that way. Metal prints, just the metal prints. Okay. Not the metallic paper, not any of that stuff, just the metal prints. Okay. So, once again, to recap, the new images for this week, for this show, are wee, with the waves having too much fun, crashing on the rocks. Second one's called Morning Fisherman, with the human fisherman passing behind the bird diner. Yosemite from Tunnel View. It's called Why It's Called Tunnel View. This is Cadillac hood ornament 1938 because it is a Cadillac. It is a hood ornament from the 1938 model. This is called Rock in Fiery Sky. Okay. Get those out of your way. Rock in Fiery Sky, Coquille River Lighthouse from Bandon, Oregon. Random Rock from my backyard. It's just called Random Rock, but it is from my backyard here in Concord, California. We will be seeing him again when I go back out to the live section of demonstration. And then 180, a 180 what? We don't know. Again, from the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. Okay, so that's the first thing that I promised. Okay, so the second thing we're going to do is we're going to do a lesson. But before we get to the lesson, I wanted to remind you, yikes, things are just flying all over the place. I wanted to remind you, if you are not already on my email list, and I'm sorry, email newsletter people, I didn't get it out yet this week. It will be out today. It's coming, really. I do one a week. Yeah. But please, it's Black Friday season. Please do not unsubscribe just because I send you more than one email in a week. I want you to know about these sales. Okay? Who knows? You may want one day. And if you unsubscribe, you'll never hear about them again. And in fact, my newsletter people, they get better deals. Okay? There are always better deals in the newsletter. So it pays to stay on the newsletter list. If you're not on the newsletter list, you can go to that site, ronalcottphotography.com, and we're doing a giveaway. Now, we won't be doing one for December, so this is the last giveaway of the year. This is called You and Me Kiddo. It is on metallic paper, as you can see by the shininess there. That's not all from the clear cellophane wrapper that this is in. Did I say hi to Julie? Yeah, I think I said hi to Julie. So anyway, this is the giveaway this month. If you're already on the newsletter, if you already get the newsletter, then you're in luck. You're already in the drawing. If you don't, then you're not in luck yet. So go get some luck. Go to the website. Go to ronalcottphotography.com. And there you will find up in the same banner up at the top of the website that tells you about the flash sale that's on today. Up there, it also has a link to go and sign up for the newsletter, or there's a pop-up. Either way that you sign up for the newsletter is fine, as long as you're on the mailing list come December 1st. Okay, so that's coming up December 1st at 5:30 p.m. We will be doing the drawing live for You and Me Kiddo. Okay, this will be signed. I will give a personal dedication to the winner, and it will be mailed to you free of charge anywhere in the United States. If you're outside the United States, we'll work something out. All right, we'll get it to you. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and sign up. So coming up, I got the flash sale going on. The next edition of Sunday Morning Live with Ron. I need a theme song. Go ta-da-ta-da-ta-da, Sunday Morning Live with Ron. Okay, the next one will be 2 weeks from today. That will be December 8th or December 6th, I believe. Yeah, December 6th. So December 6th will be the next edition of this. You can come back then or catch it, the replay on Facebook, YouTube, and hopefully Instagram. Instagram often gives me trouble with these long videos, but definitely Facebook, definitely Facebook, and definitely YouTube. Okay. The way you find me in those places is you look for Ron Olcott Photography without the .com. All right. You search that. If you find it, it will be me. Which brings up another thing that I wanted to tell you about. I've been being hacked. Okay. So I don't think they've gotten to my Ron Olcott Photography stuff, but my personal stuff has been hacked. Somebody hacked and stole one of my Instagram accounts that I'm working on getting back. Not this one, but one of my Instagram accounts. So beware. Okay? Beware that there are a lot of phishing newsletters out there. I believe that the way that I got hacked is by responding to a phishing newsletter that said my Facebook password had been changed, or that my Instagram password had been changed. I clicked on their link and went and changed the password, which is always a mistake. Okay, if you get a message like that, always be sure that you go to the app itself and change your password there. Don't click on links that could possibly be from someplace else. And this one, believe me, this one looked good, but when I went back to look at it, I discovered it was not coming from Instagram.com. It was coming from InstagramEmail.com, which is not Instagram. Everything from Instagram says Instagram.com. Be on the lookout. People are trying to steal your identity. Be careful out there. All right. This is, I'm going to plug something. I use a password locker. Okay. The one that I use is called FastPass. Look at the password lockers. Okay, don't use the Windows one. Why? Because it's free. Okay, everybody, it's free. It's built into Windows. Okay, so everybody and their brother will use the Windows one and the Google one. And what does that mean? That makes them great targets for hackers. Get a third-party password locker. Again, I use FastPass. I have no business association with them. That's just who I use. I use the free version. It works very, very well for me. I can use very complex passwords, and all I have to do is remember the one password to get into my password locker. So, so what is happening in the world? What else? Oh, we've got Thanksgiving coming up this coming week. Please be safe. I know it's family. I know it's tradition. I know it's hard. But remember this, COVID don't care. Please do not keep a tradition that could kill people this year. I'm being very blunt. Okay? It's not about, ooh, somebody could get sick. Ooh, you could kill somebody. Stay home, use Zoom, use Google Meetings, use Skype, use FaceTime. Okay? Use the tools, use the technology you have available to keep your family safe. Keep you safe. Okay? But I don't know how many of you saw Rachel Maddow's return. Okay? It may not be you that ends up sick. Okay? You may be strong. You may think you can handle this stuff, but can you handle the person that you love coming down with COVID? Don't mess with it. Stay home. Sorry, got political there for a second. That'll probably get me banned somewhere. That's not political though. That's science. That's stuff. Coming up on December 1st, which is not next week, but the week after, new release of Wormwood Press. So that's at wwp.media.com. And you'll see more announcements about that. I do have pieces in there again, but it's also a really, really marvelous online zine, full of art and poetry and writing and photography. And this is going to be a particularly good issue. The topic is light. So be looking for that December 1st. But before that, on Black Friday, I will be having my monthly live art show. It will be my Friday happy hour live virtual home art gallery show. It takes place in my living room, in your living room, virtually. So next Friday, 5:30 on Friday afternoon, about the time that you have burned yourself out on turkey leftovers and Black Friday shopping, which you'd be doing as much as possible online this year. Art coming your way. There's always great deals. I always offer huge discounts. I always offer some sort of additional flash sale. So be looking for that. And then I guess that's all of the announcements. Let's get into the lesson. All right. So we're right on track. The lesson. All right. As I said, today's lesson is going to be about motion blur. So, but our source material is from Fstoppers. Okay. Everything you need to know about capturing sharp photographs in any situation. It's a blog post from 2015. The good thing about photography is that in general, good photography techniques don't change. As much as we get better and better photography technology, the techniques that you need to use as a photographer to get the best shots just don't change. All right. So this is a great article. Okay. It goes through like 10 things. We've done one on optics already. We've done a lesson on focus already. We're going to skip over. There's focus. Okay. We're going to skip over aperture for today because it talks about tuning your lenses, which I've never done. So I have to practice that. And we're going to skip over ISO, which we will talk about on another episode. He calls the lesson about motion blur shutter speed. Shutter speed is a factor. Okay. There are a lot of other factors, and he does mention them in here. Just his heading is a bit misleading. Okay. That's what we're doing. But he also goes into flash sync versus flash duration. I've never used a flash, so I wouldn't know. Digital shooting in general, where you're sending it, how you're editing it, and some additional concerns about film, okay, if you are shooting in film. But today, we're going to be talking about, don't get dizzy on me, we're going to be talking about motion blur, or what he calls shutter speed, okay? Now, obviously, if you go too slow and you're not adequately stabilized, or you're shooting a moving object, you're going to get motion blur. There it is. See, right in the first sentence, he says motion blur, but his heading is shutter speed. That's why I don't write these things. Okay? That can be an effect. Okay? So motion blur that you're looking for is good. Motion blur that you're not looking for is not good. Okay? So if you want to avoid it, you have to consider your movement and the subject's movement. Okay? And you can minimize some of that using flash, but that's a different lesson. Okay? So if you're shooting landscape, like I do, you often use very long exposures. Okay? If you're using a long exposure, any slightest movement is going to cause you not to have a sharp picture. Okay? So you want to use a tripod as much as possible. Okay? Dig it in. Use remote shutter release, which I'm not going to be doing today because it just takes a few minutes to set up on the camera, and we're not going to set it up. But if you are using an actual DSLR that has a mirror, okay, use the mirror lockup if you're doing a long shot, okay, because that mirror flipping up has weight, so it can shake your camera. Okay, so use your mirror lockup feature once you have things framed the way you want it to be. Excuse me. Make sure your tripod head is tightened down so that it doesn't move on you. Okay. Make sure your tripod and the head are sturdy enough to support the weight and the position of your camera. Okay. Sometimes if you're using big, long telephoto lenses, okay, you've seen high quality, low f-stop, 600 millimeter telephoto lens can be like this long, okay? And the 800s can be like this long, and they are heavy, okay? They'll weigh 3 or 4 pounds, okay? So when you have a lens like that, it will usually have a tripod plate, okay? So that you actually are mounting your lens, Okay. So if this is your camera, okay, normally you would mount the camera on the tripod with the lens sticking out in front. But because this lens is so long, it provides a plate so that your camera is still back here, but the balance point is more here, and it lets you mount your tripod at the balance point of the lens camera. Less stress on the tripod. And then next tip is hang something heavy, like your camera bag, off the center column of the tripod for additional stability. Okay, I have used that. The tripods that I have, even the newer one, even though it's much heavier and sturdier than my other ones, is a travel tripod. And as things go, it's not all that sturdy. Okay, so if there's any type of wind going on, I always hang my camera bag off the bottom of that. And even though my camera bag is empty right now, I will demonstrate that when we go outside. Okay? Use a high shutter speed if you're taking fast action. Okay. And then he talks about versus tripod. Okay. Held. The rule of thumb is a shutter speed of 1 over the focal length. Okay. So if you're using 50, you don't to shoot handheld at anything slower than 1/50th of a second. And with a 200, that would be 1/200th. This particular author likes to double that at least. Okay. So with that same 50 millimeter, he would go to 1/100th as his cutoff. If the shot takes less than, oh, I'm not showing you the stuff. Okay. If the shot takes longer than 1/100th of a second, don't do it handheld. Get it on a tripod or some sort of stabilizing object. Okay. And if the subject is moving, go at least quadruple. Okay, so it's 4 times faster if there's any movement at all. Okay, and you're going to miss this in the field. Even if you check every single picture on live view, that little screen with just a little bit of motion blur, and it's going to look sharp enough, and you get it back and you start working with it, and it's not. I know that pain. Okay, and way back, the very first lesson I ever did is how do you hold a camera? Okay, again, assuming this is your camera. Okay, and here's my new iPhone 12 Pro. Thank you very much. So be sure that you get your elbows tucked in, and if you had a lens, okay, you would hold the lens out here, but keep your elbows tucked into your body. Hold your body as still as you possibly can. And he even suggests, and it's not a bad idea, again, it's something I have used, hold your breath. If you're shooting, on that edge, so, somewhere between that 50 official recommendation and that 1/100th of a second that he recommends, hold your breath as you trip the shutter. It helps. Okay. So these are all techniques to reduce motion blur in your camera. Okay. So let's recap them very quickly. Okay. Okay. So remember, any movement by you, any movement by the subject. Okay. If you're shooting long exposures, which is anything over 1 divided by 2 times your focal length. So for 50 millimeters, if you're shooting anything slower than 1/100th of a second, put it on a tripod. Make sure you have a sturdy tripod. Use a remote shutter release. If you have a mirror, bring the mirror up before you release the shutter. Okay. Make sure everything is locked down and your tripod head is not going to sag. Okay. Add additional weight to your tripod to get additional stability, as long as that weight is not going to be swinging in the breeze. Okay. That would add movement. Okay. If your subject is moving, use really, really high shutter speeds. Okay. At least one by quadruple your focal length. So that same 500, you wouldn't want to try to do action shots at anything slower than 1/200th. Okay. And I would say, you probably don't want to do action shots that you're trying to stop the action for anything less than 1/800th. Okay. And get that good old fashioned, tuck your elbows in, looks weird as hell. Okay. But if you watch, okay, if you go somewhere like my recent trip to Yosemite and you watch the people taking pictures, you'll see a lot of people with very, very expensive equipment, and you can tell which ones know what they're doing and are going to get good shots, because they will take that very funny looking position of tucking their elbows in, holding the camera body with one hand so they have their shutter finger free, holding the lens with the other. Now, okay, usually the shutter is on the right, so I use my right hand for that. Okay. Does that look right? No, that doesn't look like my right hand. Here, let me fix that for you. I don't know why this never gets fixed. Here. Oh. Transform. Flip horizontal. There we go. There. Your right hand is on the shutter. Okay. See, now that looks like my right hand. Okay. So those are all of his tips. That's all very good. If any of you were to comment, I won't see your comments, because I'm going to go outside. I'm going to grab my Sony a6000. You should still be able to hear me because I have a wireless microphone now. Investor Kelvin dropped in twice. Thank you, Investor Kelvin. And if you're watching the replay, please excuse this dead air. Perhaps I'll hum. I'll hum quietly to myself as I proceed outside. But before I do that, let me tell you, remind you again about a few things coming up to the end of the month. So be sure you are entered and on the email list to get in on the drawing for You and Me Kiddo. The flash sale through tonight on all metal prints. This particular one is called Oh My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. But the idea of a metal print is that it's printed on metal. They're offered in a high gloss finish, like you see here, which is really, really great for photography. Don't forget that. 2 weeks from now, another edition of Sunday Morning Live with Ron. And what else? Wormwood Press coming up next Friday. Black Friday will be the Friday happy hour live virtual home art gallery show, okay, which I do once a month. Or we put on some nicer clothes than my t-shirts, and actually show you some of my actual prints that I have on hand. So that will be coming up next Friday. It'll all be on the website. The website is here, ronalcottphotography.com. I will take that down so that you can see everything I talk about outside, and I will go out side. Okay. What shall we sing? Let's sing. And again, I apologize. I won't be able to see your comments. So if you comment, don't expect a reply until I get back inside to start turning things off. So there's what the camera's looking at now, and we are headed out to join it. Got out of town on a boat from the southern islands, sailing a reach before a following sea. We were making for the trades on the outside, on a downhill run to Papeete. Off the wind on this travel line, laws the Marquesas. We got 80 feet in the water line, nicely making way. On a noisy bar in Avalon, I tried to call you. But on a midnight watching and realized why twice you ran away. Think about. Okay, we're here. Okay. Now, motion blur. Okay. That is motion blur. Okay. As soon as I move the tripod, okay, if I were taking a shot while that happened, it would blur. So I'm going to take this, pick this up, and we're going to go handheld. There we are. Okay. And I'm going to be looking through the viewfinder. So if I sound muted, it's because the viewfinder is in the way. All right. Now, there are some things that we have to talk about. Okay. One of the things that he doesn't mention in his article is something called image stabilization. And every manufacturer has a different name for it. Okay. On my Sony, it's called optical steady shot, OSS. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I need to adjust some things here. So right now that is off. You want it off if you are using a oops, no. I've screwed up my display. There I am. There we are. Okay. No. I'm going to go here. I want to go here. And I've got my spot. Why want to? Yeah. All right. Display, display, function, display. There we go. Display. All right. Let me get the okay. Center. There. That's the easy way to get it. Okay. Now this is with the steady shot off. Let's take a picture and we'll look at it. Oh, I can't see it. Interesting. You can see it, and you're going to see. Let's go back to shooting mode. We're going to turn the steady shot on. Okay. And you can already see as I pan that things are much, much, much nicer. I'm still going to try to get to here. Oh, that's the metering mode. Where's my autofocus? There we go. Here we go. There's my autofocus spot. There we go. All right. If I select that, there. Now move it back up to the center. I had been playing games with it last time. Okay, so now we're going to take that same shot with the on. And now when I display that, it should. All right. So what else did we talk about? We talked about the tripod. Okay. Here's my new tripod. It's sturdier than my old one. Okay. It's got two places to adjust. Okay. So when we talk about locking things down, see, I've got this adjustment. I've got this adjustment. Okay. And we'll let it swivel and pivot. Okay. So when we talk about locking things down, we need to make sure that we lock things down there. I did not bring my bag. Okay. So if I take that, I'm not sure what that does. Okay. Um, but I can hang my bag over here or on this center post. All right. Which I would have to look at how I do on this one. Okay. So that's using a tripod. I'm going to go to shutter priority now. Okay. So that we can demonstrate how that shutter speed affects your shots. Now I'm shooting at an ISO. Well, here it's going to adjust the auto ISO. Okay. Now I'm shooting at 1/60th of a second. 160th of a second. All right. So there it goes. That's pretty fast. It picked an f6.3. Let's take our shutter speed down. Okay. My focal length right now is 18. Okay, so 1/50th, theoretically, I can hand hold. All right, so let's look at that shot. Now that's probably showing, I can't see them back here. Okay, but that's probably showing a little bit of motion. Let's go a little bit lower. This is going to be 1/15th. So this would be 1:1, not 1:2. Hang on. It's having a hard time keeping. I need to change the autofocus mode. Okay, it's trying to do everything. Okay. Now you'll probably see some motions start to appear there. Okay. All right. So what happens if I go all the way down to 4/10 of a second? 4/10 of a second doesn't sound like very long, does it? Okay. It's going to let in a lot of light, so it'll be overexposed. But here, look at the motion. Okay. Look at how unsharp that is. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to demonstrate, and you can't see me do it, but I'm going to take one shot. Let's get back up here to a speed that will take a shot. Okay. There we go. Here. 18, so I want to be somewhere around 40. No. Okay. There. Okay, so this is close to the 2:1 recommendation. I'm at 1/40th of a second. All right. It picked an f9, so I got a fairly deep depth of field. Okay. So, what was I thinking? Oh, I'm going to take one the way many people do, with my elbows flying out to the side. Okay. If we look at that one, it's not going to be as sharp as it could be. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing again with that elbows tucked in position that I showed you. My hand under the lens, the other hand on the shutter, and both. And then I'm going to hold my breath. Okay. Now that should be a visibly sharper picture. All right. So that's how shutter speed can affect you. Okay. Back to Aperture, since that's my default mode. Okay. The reason that why you want to turn stabilization off when you're on a tripod, which I'm going to do now, is that you can get a feedback loop. All right, we're going to go back on the tripod here. You can get a feedback loop where the motor that tries to compensate for the stabilization actually causes the camera to move, which causes the motor to move, which causes the camera to move, which causes the motor to move. All right. We'll look at this tree for a while. Oop, wrong way. Still getting used to which way to move the knobs here on this tripod to get things all squared away and straight. All right, there we go. Lock it down, take a picture, take a picture. Okay, so that is motion blur. Avoid it unless you're trying not to avoid it. Okay, if we had something moving, unfortunately, when I'm out there, the squirrels won't come out. I've got squirrels in my backyard now, and a couple of new cats. So I don't see my old friend cat, but I've seen a couple of new cats. But they're not going to come out while I'm out there so that I can stop their motion blur. But be that as it may, oh wow, I've got a bunch of people joined. Somebody's actually here. Hello, Rita. That's how you take care of motion blur using your shutter speed. Okay. And I'm back inside. Yay me. Oh, Limor came through. Rita came through. Wow, we got lots of people. Just a hotbed of Instagram this morning. So, here's what you need to know. One, you need to know about the new images. All right. One more time, let's recap them. Okay, this one's called WHEE, W-H-E-E, as in an exclamation of enthusiasm, from Pacifica. This is from Santa Cruz. It's called Morning Fisherman. The next one is from Yosemite, black and white. The name of it is why it's called Tunnel View. This one is called Cadillac Hood Ornament 1938 because it's a Cadillac hood ornament. Again, back to Pacifica. This is Rock in Fiery Sky. Okay. Coquille River Lighthouse. Oh, I didn't show you my random rock in my backyard. I forgot to zoom in on him. He's still out there. This is from my backyard. It's called Random Rock. And if I knew what car this was, I would be a happy man, but it's simply 180. So there we are on those. Don't forget the flash sale just through today on metal prints, printed on metal. Okay. This particular one is called Oh My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose. That's only good to today. You can have until the 30th to get in on the drawing for You and Me Kiddo, totally free. Just go to the website and sign up there for, there's the website. Sign up there for the newsletter, either through the giveaway page or even through the newsletter pop-up, and you will be entered entered into the drawing, which will happen on December 1st. We're not doing a drawing in December, so this is the last giveaway I am doing this year. Wormwood Press comes out December 1st as well. The next edition of Sunday Morning Live with Ron is 2 weeks from today, December 6th. The flash sale, the Black Friday, next Friday, Black Friday, 5:30 in the afternoon Pacific time, about the time that you are ready to sit down and have a cocktail. Because let's face it, Black Friday has gotten nuts. Okay? So, come join me instead, 5:30 Pacific time. I'll wear something nice, and we will do a Friday happy hour live virtual home art gallery show from my living room right here in beautiful Concord, California. So that's everything you need to know, all in a nutshell. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day it is. Please be safe for Thanksgiving. Please be safe for yourself. Please. I also talked about being safe on your computer. Okay. Check everything. Check it. Make sure you know the email address that something is coming from, that it actually matches the place that it says it's coming from. Okay. Instagram email is not Instagram. I got burned. I've lost one of my Instagram accounts. And I've had to resecure all of my other accounts. I spent the whole day yesterday changing passwords. Don't get stuck there. So that's what we know. Everybody have a great, safe, happy Thanksgiving holiday. You be good to yourself. Be kind to other people. And become the person that you would like to meet. Peace out.